So verse 3 says that we have been blessed in the heavenly realms with every spiritual blessing in Christ. In the heavenly realms is a phrase that only Paul uses, and he only uses it here in this letter to the Ephesians. And he never clearly tells us what it means. So I need some volunteers to look up some verses in this book. Okay? So I need somebody to look up chapter 1, verse 20, and be willing in a moment to read that for us. Somebody to look up chapter 2, verse 6. Be willing to read that for us in a moment. Chapter 3, verse 10, and chapter 6, verse 12. All right, so verse 3 says that we have been blessed in the heavenly realms with every spiritual blessing in Christ. And these verses that we've just read tell us that the heavenly realms are where our blessings are, where Christ sits at God's right hand, where we are now seated with Christ, where rulers and authorities observe God's wisdom in the makeup of the church, and where spiritual forces oppose us. Okay? All of those are connected with this in the heavenly realms. So what this seems to be saying is that when we come to Christ, we need to know and understand that we are in a spiritual battle in the spiritual realm, but because we are in Christ, we are on the winning side, and we are protected, and we have every spiritual resource we need to stand firm and be victorious. So, question. What impact do you think this would have had on the believers in Ephesus? Now let me just go back and read it again. So this seems to be saying that once we come to Christ, we need to know and understand that we are in a spiritual battle in the spiritual realm. But because we are in Christ, we're on the winning side, and we are protected, and we have every spiritual resource we need to stand firm and be victorious. Question is, what do you think this would mean to the Christians in Ephesus? And think back to what you know was going on in the city at this time. What temple was located in Ephesus? Anybody remember? Temple to Artemis. Yeah. The goddess Artemis. And so much of the city, what caused the riot in Ephesus was that so much of the city was dependent on the tourism and the trade related to the temple to this false goddess. And so, yeah, this battle is happening in the spiritual realm. It's not in the physical, it's in the spiritual realm. And coming to Christ, now we are in that battle on the winning side. And we have to know we're in a spiritual battle. So next question is, what do you think this means for us today? We're in a spiritual battle, aren't we? Absolutely.